Guys, let's do it. You guys loved my reviews of Crush and Crave, so I'm gonna have to review Covet as well. It is the third in a series by Tracy Wolff. So I think if you're looking at this one, I'm gonna try not to do any spoilers, but if you're looking at this one, I'm trying not to do any in the first and second book as well, but if I do, I'm sorry. But I think if you're looking at the third book in the series, you're reading the series. Anyways, this one came out March 2nd, so let's get started. Okay, so we're back at Kentmore Academy again. Graduation time is wrapping up. They're becoming adults is wrapping up. She's a gargoyle. She's won this tournament. There's a lot going on. The last of the second book, Crush, kind of crushed me and ruined me because all of a sudden Jackson and her are not made it and Hudson and her are, and you're kind of like, what? And so I thought that's where this book would take off, was with her and Hudson. I thought it would take off with that because I felt like she did try to put a lot of work into Crush, making you interested in Hudson. And I really enjoyed Hudson in Crush. Covet, on the other hand, I don't know. So reading this book, there is a lot of adventure, a lot of turmoil that's built up, obviously, with the head court. And Hudson's in some pretty big trouble for killing people and is maybe going to be sent to prison in this book. They go on a lot of adventures, a lot of twists and turns. So that's always like is what is expecting in her books, that there's going to be a lot going to happen. And a lot happens. They go to like a giant colony in this book and it's really, really fun. Everybody's powers are stronger and they're stronger. But at the same time, as I was experiencing these new worlds with them, I felt like I was being told about the world, not experiencing with them. So I felt a little bit dragged down sometimes. Like I was being told too much, not shown. You know what I mean? I wasn't on the adventure quite with them. I was just like trying to take in everything that was described to me about these kind of new worlds and new adventures. So I felt like there was too much of that in this book, which was different because I didn't feel that in her other books. So I'm a little confused where it came from. In her writing style, I felt like it was flipped up a little bit, as well as the main romance storyline. You think it's going to pick up with Hudson, it picks up with Jackson, and you're like, why are we going back to this? You already made me angry. I thought maybe there's a reason. Maybe she's going to conclude it all. And it feels kind of unconcluded a lot all of a sudden in the middle of the book. Not the middle of the book, in the beginning of the book when it flips from Jackson to Hudson. It's just... She was selling me on Hudson in Crush. She did not sell me on Hudson in Covet. I will say that about the books. I don't get the whole mating thing anymore as much. They do explore it a lot. It is fun in this book. You get to know more about the mating bond. You get to know why their mating bond broke or what happened and what's different about her and Hudson's mating bond. But at the same time, they mention a bunch of times about their time spent together that she doesn't remember. And I thought something would happen to that end, that she would remember what happened, but that still never came to light. So I'm still waiting on that in court. I'm obviously going to read court. I gave this one 3 stars, which I feel like is lower than the other two. I didn't love this book as much just because I felt like I didn't believe the relationship as much in this storyline, and I felt like I was being told too much in the storyline. It was still fun. It's still lots of twists and turns. It had a lot of adventure. She's built up a lot of world building, I think, in these books. And she's really built up the characters, and so I like all the characters and enjoy them. It's just taken me for a loop with the relationships. And she talks about some things like about Jackson, and she tries to sell it to you like this. Instead of like when you experience Hudson in her head in Crush, I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting the relationship. But in this book, she just tries to say Hudson's better for me because he's less protective of me and lets me be me. But Jackson, I don't feel he was protective of her, but he still let her get into a lot of trouble in Crave in the first book. Like she got in an immense amount of trouble, a lot of problems she had to deal with on her own. She nearly died. So I feel like she got in enough trouble even though he was trying to protect her. So that storyline, that's I think the reason I wasn't buying the Hudson thing, is because I was like, no, that didn't really happen to me. For me, it's my perspective. I kind of want to know what your guys' perspective about the Hudson and Jackson trilogy. Kentmore Academy, I'm glad is kind of out of the way because I feel like she's built up too much to be still going to high school. It felt kind of boring in this book when they were still going and she was like trying to end her year and trying to graduate. So I'm glad we've moved on from that. I'm glad we're going to move on to the court where it's the main issue and the main problem. I wonder if it's the last and final book as well, but I mean, she's gotten me there. She's got me the 4th book. I'm really excited about it. I've enjoyed the series so far. She hasn't sold me on these relationships. And I hope the next book, I don't feel like I'm reading descriptions of places. I hope I'm just kind of along for the venture and noticing those places. There were fun things in this book though as well. That's how I felt. It's hard to describe without giving things away and giving the storyline away and giving the first storylines away, especially when you're third in a trilogy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys in the next one, which will be Court by Tracy Wolff. And I will see you guys in my next one. See you guys next time. Bye.